What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, do your boy a favor, go ahead and drop a like for the video and also subscribe to the channel. Man, we got a lot to cover in today's video, and we've seen a lot of activity in the markets lately. A lot of selling, a lot of buying, and basically the markets are really just trying to digest what the Fed is doing. They're trying to digest now, where do we go in the stock market? Do we go higher from here? President Biden finally signed off confirming that we are not going to be ultimately defaulting on our debt for the United States. The US dollar has a couple of more energy vials left in it. It's got a little bit more gas in the tank, so it looks like the US dollar is actually going to survive for a little bit longer, hopefully a lot of bit longer for a lot of us here. I just don't see it being a really good thing for our US dollar to just collapse on us. Now, I got a question for you guys. Have you guys heard about what's going on with Apple Pay? So basically, there's this new relationship that has taken place between Apple Pay and Goldman Sachs, and I've been hearing a lot of different things going on, and here's just some of the headlines that I've been hearing about this thing. I don't know how many of you guys use Apple Pay, but it's saying here, like, here's one headline from Wall Street Journal. It said Apple customers are saying it's hard to get money out of Goldman Sachs savings account. Here's another one. Oh wow, Apple's card is now offering high-yield savings account and is now available, offering 4.15% APY. Pretty competitive. But here's another headline from Daily Mail. They're saying Apple savings account keeps keeping customers' cash hostage. That's not a good look. A total nightmare. Transfer delays with new Apple Goldman savings accounts prompts complaints. And, you know, a lot of people are just seemingly having issues here. Here's another one. Apple savings users complain of delays withdrawing their money. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If I need to withdraw my money, I don't have a whole lot of patience for issues, right? But these are some of the headlines that I'm seeing. Me personally, again, I'm an Android user. I don't really use Apple Pay. I do know that, I think it was it Walmart? Target? No, it was Walmart and Kroger were not accepting Apple Pay for some period of time. You know, basically they were reluctant to adopt this Apple Pay. However, Kroger recently has decided to go ahead and begin accepting Apple Pay. I guess why not, right? Walmart, on the other hand, has decided not to accept Apple Pay, but from a business standpoint, I kind of understand why they're doing it. It's kind of like, all right, well, you know, Walmart does have Walmart Pay. I don't know anybody personally who uses Walmart Pay, but I do know it exists. So that might be one reason why Walmart decided to go down the route of continuing to not accept Apple Pay in the Walmart stores. But I gotta ask you guys a question. What are your goals? Like, what are your plans? For me, you know, my plans evolve, my goals evolved over the years. But I realized that I spent way too much money on things. And let me know if you guys agree. Let me know if you guys are falling victim to this. But I personally fell into this trap of buying all sorts of things, you know, that I just could not afford. And I couldn't afford it for two reasons. Number one, my income was lower than my desires. And you'll always be able to outspend your income. But, you know, between car payments and all of these different things that I would put on credit cards, just because I wanted more than I could possibly afford, let alone investing, right? And so, you know, I could not walk into a mall or shopping center and not buy something. I had no self-control. And I would say that, you know, it's 100% my fault, but it also has a lot to do with society. Society can certainly push you to do certain things. And, you know, a lot of times people end up buying stuff to make them happy. And, you know, things are very temporary in terms of happiness, right? Like they say, money doesn't buy happiness. That's debatable. But honestly, I think I have the most fun with experiences. We just had a wonderful trip, me and the family, and we just had a wonderful time. And for me, you know, it wasn't about spending money. It was just enjoying great times together. And so for me, over the years, I realized that the more stuff I buy, the more I'm going to tie myself into this rat race, being forced to, work a 9-to-5 job, being forced to work the job longer than desired. Like, how do you invest when all of your money is going out toward stuff? So when I realized this, I said to myself, hey, I can't keep doing this. I have to, number one, I have to get out of debt. Number two, I need to figure out this investing thing. And I also realized that, and I know it sounds very elementary, but money spent, any dollar you spend is a dollar you cannot invest. And that very simple concept is something that I'm pretty sure everyone can grasp, but most people do not implement that into their own personal finances, right? So, if I'm spending, $200 on a pair of sneakers, that's $200 I cannot invest. And I'm not saying like, don't buy anything that you like. Don't buy anything that's nice. What I am saying though is I decided that I'm not going to let my short-term desires and wishes to buy cool stuff to prevent me from achieving financial freedom. Because at the end of the day, I realized that my happiest points in life, my happiest times were times where I was spending it with my family at leisure. And so I said to myself, well, what do I need to do to be able to accomplish this, right? Well, number one, I had to get out of debt. Being in debt is literally like a modern day level of slavery if that debt is not making you money. So that was the first thing I needed to do. The first thing I figured out was, I got to get out of debt. Now, another thing I started looking at is, well, how do I achieve financial freedom? Like, what are the types of investments that I would need to invest in, right? So that came later on. But the big thing for me was to identify where all of my money was being wasted, right? Now, a lot of Americans, they'll, go out and buy different things that are financed. And we're seeing this in our economy right now. The total credit card debt for the United States right now is borderline $1 trillion. And it keeps growing. So what this means is that there's more there's more debt being accumulated on credit cards without being paid down by consumers right here in the United States. And it's going to get to a point where there's got to be a collapse. You can't continue to expand financially into debt without some type of retraction. So what's going to happen? A lot of Americans are suddenly going to become responsible, start paying off their debt. Or B, all of a sudden there's going to be a wave of defaults, a wave of automobile repossessions, a wave of home foreclosures. None of those things are desirable outcomes, in my opinion. Maybe call me weird, right? So, we see this happening. We see this coming, and it's becoming more and more expensive to keep up, right? So, for those who decide to keep up with the Joneses, it's becoming more and more expensive to do so. As the Federal Reserve continues to raise interest rates, it makes borrowing costs much more expensive. Loans are much more expensive. Look at mortgage rates, right? Mortgage rates are right around 7% right now. So we're seeing this. Now, for me, I spent years trying to dig myself out of debt. And it was one of the most difficult things to do initially, but one of the most rewarding things I had done in my life. And so with that being said, a lot of people have asked me, hey, Ron, what do you like to invest in? Well, me personally, I like to invest in a number of different things. I like to invest in the stock market, the housing market, the real estate market. I like to invest in businesses. I like to build and grow small businesses. And within the stock market, I really like ETFs. I really like index funds because it really makes life simpler. I don't need to be an expert on all these different companies. I don't know what Walmart's doing every single day. I don't know what AMC and GameStop are doing every single day. I don't know what Target's up to. I don't hang out in the news staring at all of these different companies that are on the S&P 500 every single day. So if you're not, you could be. You never know what's going to happen in the marketplace, and if you're not keeping your finger on the pulse, it makes it very, very difficult to keep up with all these different investments. So I like to simplify things, and so I just want to share with you maybe a few ETFs that I'm a big fan of that can help to compound money, expand your wealth, increase your net worth over time. Looking at the history of the performance of these particular ETFs, it makes me wonder like why more people don't do it. Now, look at Vanguard's S&P 500 ETF VOO. Now I'm buying this guy all day long. Why? Because it's the S&P 500. How do you go wrong with the S&P 500? 500 of the largest companies in the United States. For me, I feel pretty good about those. Another one is the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF, which is VTI. That's another solid one. And I'm going to give you guys another one. Vanguard Growth ETF, VUG. I feel like if I don't have anything else in my portfolio, if I have these, I feel like I'm, number one, very well diversified. Number two, some of these pay dividends. And I would and I do reinvest the dividends so that more shares can be purchased. And the thing is in order to buy these, in order to invest in these different ETFs, I have to make sacrifices and say to myself, all right, I'm not going to buy this, shiny watch. Instead, I'm going to wait. I'm going to get that watch later. I really like that watch. But you know what? I'm going to hold off on this watch. I'm going to buy more shares of these ETFs. The watch will be there. I'm going to grow the portfolio. I'm going to grow my wealth. I'm going to increase how much passive income that's being generated off of these ETFs. And in the future, I'll let the passive income pay for the watch. Because if I don't do things in a certain order, then you end up working for the better part of your life. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. But I think you have to really sit down and say to yourself, okay, well, what are my goals? What are my objectives? And how quickly do I want to achieve my goals and objectives? By the way, if you guys want to chat with me and, maybe we sit down and discuss a plan for you, how you can achieve your goals and objectives, definitely, you can reach out to me. Generally, the best way to reach out to me is through Patreon. I'll leave a link for you guys in the description down below this video if you guys want to chat with me offline. But yeah, guys, it's all about creating a plan, delaying gratification, and executing. And that's, in a nutshell, what it boils down to. I'm going to give you guys a couple more ETFs that I really believe in. You got the Vanguard Value ETF, that's VVT. My bad. That's the Vanguard Value ETF, VTV. And I also like the two more. Vanguard Dividend Appreciation ETF, VIG, and the Vanguard FTSE, FTSE Emerging Markets ETF, VWO. And I like these because I want diversification. So I want a piece of the emerging markets. We talk about the dollar losing value, which it is, but all currencies lose value. I feel that if I have more exposure to more markets, because see, money doesn't disappear. Money always goes somewhere. So if US dollars are going down, you just have to understand, okay, if the US dollar value is going down, what else is increasing in value in response to the dollar's demise? So by having assets that appreciate based on factors that are outside of the United States, in my opinion, you drastically increase your chances of surviving economic downturns and keeping that passive income coming in on a regular basis. But drop me some comments down in the comment section down below, guys. Let me know if any of this information is resonating with you. If you, again, are stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing and also drop a like. I totally appreciate you guys, and I really hope that these videos are helpful. Share this video with everyone you know, and you guys take care. Be safe.